Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
All right, Inside Metal Show on TradioV. Got my great guest here, Mr. Dug Pinnick.
Howdy.
How you doing there, Doug?
I'm not complaining.
All right, good to see you. First time here on TradioV, and my old friend, Mr. Spacey T, from the Sound Barrier days, way back, way back in the early '80s. I've known this guy, man, long time, and newcomer here, Mr. Tommy Baldwin, straight from Indianapolis. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Drove all the way down here in his car just to be on this show, right? Don't make it sound dramatic here. So the reason I got you all three together, you got a brand new project. Of course, everyone knows Dug Pinnick from King's X and the numerous other projects, which we'll talk about, KXM, and a lot of the projects you've done in the past. But let's talk about the new thing you got going on. Why don't you start off, Doug?
You mean the Hendrix tribute record?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joe at Rat Pack called me up and said, "Hey, let's do a Hendrix tribute record for
That's
fun."
Rat Pack Records, right?
Yeah, and you know, it's something I'm up for doing. So we went forward with it, and I asked Tommy and Tracy to play with it on me because they're Hendrix freaks.
Right.
And Mike Hansen played drums on it.
Oh, wow.
And it's just the three of us, pretty much, or the four of us, and we made a record. Got to mix it.
Right on,
we'll be
man.
mixing it soon. But
So you kind of put a little twist on it. You do, it's all Hendrix tunes,
it's
right?
all Hendrix tunes. I mean, the twist for me was I just wanted to try to capture some kind of spirit of Jimi Hendrix in tones and sound. And so we kind of broke down all the songs that we did, and down to how did he play it, how was the phrasing, what was the tones, what amps did he use, where he turned things around backwards. And we turned things around backwards and learned the leads forward and then turned around like he did and stuff. So we just wanted to really make it a fun kind of thing. Some artistic type project, rather than just wanking on top of a Hendrix song, you know.
That's awesome.
And luckily I kind of sing like him.
Yeah. I have to say your voice is.
So you know, I put on this special sauce, and sometimes I get goosebumps. Not at that I think it's great, but that how much it sounds like him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like whoa, kind of scary.
I can't
so
wait
people
to
gonna
hear
love
it.
it. I hope people like it. Maybe
awesome.
everybody might hate it for all we know. You know.
And you're done recording, right? The recording's finished.
It's done. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of patchwork, but pretty much it's done.
And release date? Do we have a release date?
No,
Yeah.
we haven't even asked the Hendrix people if we can do it yet, so we might be in a lawsuit when this is done.
I don't think so. I think that they'll see the legitimacy of it. I think it'll
hope
all
so.
be good. I hear there. Well, I mean, so many bands has done, Hendrix stuff.
Exactly.
First guy I ever saw, I don't know if you remember this cat, did Randy Hansen.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I
Saw
love
him.
Randy Hansen.
Oh, man, I was always familiar with Hendrix. My cousin turned me on to, Sabbath, Purple, all that stuff. And Hendrix, I wasn't really into the whole 60s thing. I was a young kid then, but I remember, he says, dude, Randy Hansen, you got to see this guy. And I think I was like 14 or 15. He took me out. So I'm at the Santa Monica Civic when he did a Hendrix tribute. And, man, it blew my mind. And, before then, I only knew a couple of Hendrix songs. And then after that, I got really, really into Hendrix's stuff.
It was hard to tell the difference. When he put the wig on, the only thing difference was the blue eyes. When he'd look out, and I saw those blue eyes, I said, oh, yeah, that's not him. But he really mimicked him.
It's funny because he's a white cat too, but with the lights and everything, and it looks,
He put a little dark.
He put some
Just a
makeup
little bit
on,
of a bit of cream on his face.
But I saw him many times, and then he just kind of he did actually a
what
solo.
happened to him?
I don't. I think
He's still around.
He's in Seattle area, I
Okay.
think, doing some stuff, and he had done that solo record, which was really cool. Jeff Pilson played on it. And,
Oh, yeah, I have that vinyl.
vinyl in 1980, I think it came out. They just got reissued on CD, I believe, on Rock Candy Records.
Oh,
and
nice.
that had some great stuff. Herbie Hancock, I think, produced it.
Wow.
And but he was cool. But it's there hasn't been much. People have done different Hendrix songs here and there, but a real cool Hendrix project. I'm definitely looking forward. I know you guys have been doing some jam sessions here and there. I know at Wednesday nights over at Lucky Strike and stuff. You got any actual live shows for this?
No, not yet.
No.
Nah.
Gonna wait till the record comes out. And see?
Yeah, so many things going on in our
I know
lives.
you're one of the busiest guys in rock and roll, Doug. Let's
Trying to
talk
be.
about
He's the James Brown of rock and roll.
Trying to be.
Yeah, you got your hands in all sorts of stuff. I know you recently did the KXM with, of course, George Lynch and Ray Luzier from Korn, and that was a great project.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And you were doing some shows with them as well, right?
We haven't done any shows yet, but we want to.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing a new record now.
Oh, wow.
And so we got some producers lined up, and so we're thinking about doing it.
Right, and you just right before that, you did a great project with Eric Gales and
PGP.
PGP,
with Thomas Pridgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 2 records in the last 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, and then of course your solo records, which we can't forget.
Thank you.
Drum Sum Up, and yeah, I mean you've got now. Why? I mean you keep very busy. You must. I mean artistically, you must have, and of course you still have King's X going strong.
Yeah.
You have so much creativity in you. Is it just something that you just need to get out to put? Or I know you love collaborating with different people.
I say it this way: if you ain't got nothing to do and you don't have any interest outside of writing music, that's what you do.
Right.
You know, I have no distractions, so it's either that or be bored.
All right. And Spacey T, let's get to you. Everyone remembers Sound Barrier. Were you a fan of Sound Barrier? Did you remember?
No.
No?
Not that I didn't like them. I just didn't. I was in Springfield, Missouri, and I remember seeing the record in this store one time, and they were all black bands, so I bought it. But I never. It was a pile of the rest of the stuff. You know, there was so much crap.
Well, there was no promotion.
There was just like
it was just kind of came in. Yeah. Now, since Sound Barrier, of course, you've been real busy. I remember after that you did a great project called Gangland.
Yes.
And then you did, you did a lot of jamming. You did some Hendrix stuff too on your own. I remember, right?
Yeah, with Eddie Hazel.
That's right. Oh wow.
Funkadelic. So
yeah.
That was my mentor and best friend, and I told him I was doing that as for part of the Black Rock Coalition.
Right.
To help Jimi Hendrix get his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Mm-hmm. So how could the Hendrix people refuse?
I know.
You know, yeah. How could they? How could they?
Right on. And
Sound Barrier did really make a big deal out here in L.A. Right? You remember?
No, yeah, they did. I mean, when it came, but again, the record label dropped the ball, and that's what Spacey and I are talking about.
They don't know what to do.
Yeah, and he goes through it extensively in the movie here, The Pioneers of L.A. Hard Rock and Metal. Yeah, we talk about that, and they were, but that was a tragic with a lot of labels. In 80, 81, 82, they didn't really know what to do with hard rock metal bands, especially all black. I mean, that really threw. They signed them, and didn't the A&R guy got fired right after? So, which happens all the times, and the album pretty much got shelves. But you guys made some history, and it was, I think, overseas they got a lot. I remember reading reviews all over, and Kerrang and Aardschok and all the big.
You would not believe all the fan mail, and I see articles on the band everywhere, Japan.
Yeah.
And
you were out with Fishbone. You see, Spacey also played with Fishbone for quite some time, and you said going over to Europe, everyone was asking about Sound Barrier.
Well, actually, the first band I went to Europe with was Mother's Finest.
Oh, that's right.
And that's when I started. People started coming to me saying, "You
another
were in Sound
great
Barrier."
band.
Yes, very
and that's where it started.
Underrated band again. They came out in the '70s. Tom Werman produced that, I believe. That was his thing, and that was
Black Rock at its finest.
Yeah.
That was a good band. Yeah.
No pun intended.
Absolutely. Okay, he's giving me the 2 minutes warning. In this 2 minutes, let's introduce the new cat in the town, straight from Indianapolis. What's up, Tommy? Talk to us.
Hanging, happy to be here, man.
So, how'd you get hooked up? I know you were telling me earlier you met Doug at the NAMM show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw him. I was actually waiting to meet Eric Gales, and because he's one of my favorites, and I saw Doug off to the side. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see Doug.
Right.
Ever since then, it's been awesome.
That's awesome. Did you come like with a tape or CD and say?
I just walked up and said, "Man, I love your bass, dude.
Wow.
Love the tone. I'm all about love bass. See,
right.
Bass and drums are the most important things to me in the band. So when I heard him, the low bass, and because it just drives it, with the drums, and so I was like, man, that bass is kicking, dude. So I walked up and just. What's up, dude?
That's awesome.
So we hung out, and I heard him play, and it was like, I was going, wow, this kid can play. I mean, really played that kind of thing, that special thing.
Yeah.
Not, like Hendrix was. They're
right.
just something that's like, wow, this is the real deal. That's what I'm trying to say. So.
And you are young,
Yeah.
or you look young anyway, huh?
Yeah.
Just turned 19.
Wow, look at that, man. Are you living in LA now, or are you still in Indianapolis?
Actually, living here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Right on, man. So, and you're involved in the Hendrix project too. Did you guys split the guitar duties, or is there different?
Actually, we just kind of, all three of us kind of did all the parts pretty much. I mean, we kind of covered everything, so we're just kind of mix and blend and see what we can do with it, It's going to be interesting, I hope, to mix it. I don't know what's in our heads yet to do it, but I want it to be layers, because Hendrix did layers, so these guys will... anyway,
Awesome.
commercial.
Great. Yeah, commercial break we're getting into here. So we're going to be
pay
back,
the piper.
man. There you go. He knows. He's a pro. He's done this before. We're going to be back with Dug Pinnick, Spacey T, and Tommy Baldwin coming up. TradioV Inside Metal.
Hi, I'm Holly, and this is Michael. We're on Love Life on TradioV every day.
No! Every Tuesdays. Every day I try to get her to have a love life. But every Tuesday, where you can watch us and hear us, only one place,
Only hear him, though.
5 p.m. Pacific time, TradioV. We're going to talk about love, relationships, intimacy. There'll be some sex, but not between us.
No, I don't have sex with him.
Not often. You're single, we're gonna share with you what to do if you just want booty calls or be in a relationship. Oh, you know you like booty calls.
I do.
What's it like to be in a relationship? We always say you have to be a strong me before you can be a great we. One place, right here, Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, only on TradioV, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Brad is actually here right now.
I don't have the white disease.
Whoa!
Give me, I want to see like some tiny intro. Give me some boom. Give me some boom, bro. This is gonna make us money.
Ask Robert who his favorite celebrity animals are.
His animal lovers.
All right, everybody whip your out. Everybody whip it out. We'll be right back. See, now it's...
Let's do a couple things. Ready?
Action.
Oh, monsters! Monsters!
You.
Oh, that means me.
It's gonna take the unreal mind.
To be honest with you, I like being down there a little more because my head was...
Candy corn monsters, boom!
Hi, I'm Kristen Renton, and I don't know what I'm saying. This one's World Animal Days.
Right, here we go. Oh, I'll just... It's not a real wall.
I mean, unless you fake it. I had a contest on night calls, and they were all peeing everywhere. Everyone's like, can I get another Diet Coke? Yeah.
We want to do more.
All right, little sound barrier to lead us into our second segment here. Some classic sound barrier here. TradioV Inside Metal Show with my guest Dug Pinnick from King's X and 1,000 other bands.
I like that.
Yep. Spacey T, Tracy Singleton, everyone knows him as Spacey T from Sound Barrier, and the new Jimi Hendrix project that also played with Mother's Finest and Fishbone and a lot of fantastic bands. And the newcomer on the lot here, Tommy Baldwin, straight from Indiana, man. So you got the new project together. You're going to do a jam tomorrow night, which I look forward to. Anyone in town in LA tomorrow night, Lucky Strike. They got great jam sessions.
It's free.
It's free to get in. Mitch Perry and Chuck Wright and Brian Tishy, I think. All great cats always.
And you never know who's going to show up.
You never know. And the place is slamming. It's packed. It's a great rock and roll vibe. And, all people, people bowling on the side, and then they got a great little room there.
Yeah, it's awesome how they have it set up.
Definitely.
It's a great schmooze place. Everybody's a musician, and you get to meet people. Just up and comers or famous people or just people off the street. But it's just it's real nice. It's not pretentious. There's no guards. There's nobody standing going, you can't talk to this person.
Yeah,
it's
and
really,
I love
really
that.
neat.
Yeah, that's very cool. We're gonna take callers too. If anyone wants to call in, we got our phone lines open. Right, Jake? Got them open this time. All right, we got it open. It is 855-878-4652. So you want to call in, talk to Doug, Spacey, or Tommy? You're welcome to give a call in. We'll keep them open for the remainder of the segment. And let's talk a little bit about King's X. I know a lot of people are asking what's going on with King's X.
We're talking about doing a new record. Nothing's final yet. We're just kind of at the beginning of the stages of trying to piece the people together to make the record with.
Right.
And we took a break about 8 years since we made a record. So, yeah, we've taken a long break.
As I say, this is one of your longest breaks.
Yeah, and Jerry had 2 heart attacks, so we've been out of commission for a while, too.
He's doing good now?
Yeah, he's doing great now. And so we're doing shows. We've been doing shows on weekends, maybe 2 or 3 weekends a month.
That's the way to do it. Just fly in, do the shows.
And so next weekend we're playing Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston, hometown.
Your hometown, yeah.
So it's going to be
awesome.
Yeah. And of course, you've been living in L.A.
for the last 5 or 6 years. I lost track now.
You still go out to Houston quite a bit?
Yeah, I do drive home. My house is there, and so I go home. I rent a room from Tracy.
All right.
And I go back and forth.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, so many people, including myself, since the Out of the Silent Planet, just blown away by the band. You really brought in a unique sound. This was early 80s.
89.
Or, no, I guess late 80s. Yeah, what I'm saying.
Yeah, 89.
89, yeah.
Was Gretchen.
Gretchen was 89? Mm-hmm. And so the Out of Silent Planet was the year before 88.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that record.
Yeah, Gretchen, I love that record. That's one of my favorites.
Thank you.
So many people have, come forward and said, all the big, one that comes to mind is Richie Blackmore. He's talked, he loves your vocals. He says you're one of his favorite singers out there, which is pretty amazing. And I want to ask you, you've probably heard that Blackmore's putting together a new project, and he says he doesn't want to get, either Coverdale. And I know he won't work with Ian Gillan. Mm-hmm. He's talking about getting new guys in the band, when Joe Lynn Turner was trying to get in on this. So I'm wondering if he's contacted you.
No, he hasn't.
But your phone line is open, right? I know Richie watches the show, right? He's a big fan of the Inside Metal Show. So
my ears, man, that kind of might be fun.
That would be awesome.
Unless he's just looking for a young newcomer, a new screamer.
Yeah, well, you're young and you're a screamer. Young got heart, right?
Well, I wouldn't turn him down this time.
Yeah. There you go, man. So who you must? I know you've jammed with a lot of different people. Who would be your ultimate guy? I guess Hendrix probably, but someone that's alive today. Who would you really love to jam with?
Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, wow.
I got to jam with the drummer and the trumpet player and the sax player.
Right.
And we did Sly songs.
Wow.
And it was like the bass player didn't show up. It was a Buddy Miles tribute show.
Wow.
And Billy Cox basically was supposed to come play, and he didn't. For some reason, he didn't show up. It was in Austin, and I luckily had my bass with me, and I was singing a couple cover songs early in the set. And I said, I know those songs, and dude, it was like a dream come true. I mean, I still can't get over it.
Right.
I got pictures. I was smiling that wide.
Wow,
it was unreal. But
let's play a little bit from your KXM. We got your video. You have the video for KXM queued up there. All right, this is the promo video. Let's see if here we go.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me. That's right.
somebody, not just anyone. And I haven't got the answer to why I feel low. I've been looking for the right kind. I'm on the run. Let me out, rescue me. Oh, let me out, let it be. Rescue me. Oh, come on. Never found nobody, never settle down.
All right, that is KXM,
Yeah.
a great project with
Love it.
Dug Pinnick, of course, with Ray Luzier on drums,
Yeah.
and the mighty George Lynch on guitar. Man.
I was watching that, looking at George. He's a rock star, man.
Yeah, and of course everyone knows
I love
George from
George.
Dokken, and he's done. And the cool thing about you and the projects you do, you're so diversified as the sound, and you're not afraid to try different things, and especially with guys like George Lynch, who everyone, like I said, associates him with the Guitar Hero 80s Dokken kind of sound. And Ray, of course, he's been
Korn.
in Korn, and he did the David Lee Roth stint.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
been in a lot of different stuff.
He's been in a lot of bands. He's the hardest working man in show business.
Yeah,
I think
he's
so.
definitely keeps busy. How did that project come together?
Ray was having a party at his house for his son who was turning 1.
Right.
And I had just moved here maybe a few months, and so he said, "Want to come over and hang out?" And he invited George too, and a few other people, and we were just hanging around, talking and drinking, and somebody said, "Let's jam together." And so Ray says, "Well, I got a drum room here." He had a recording thing. I said, "Well, let's get together and just do a demo or do some songs." And about a month later, George calls up and kind of puts us in, gets us in. George is a go-getter.
Right.
You know, a lot of people get together and they say, "Oh,
He's
let's
got
do
a ton of
something," and they
projects,
never do it. You know, I've talked to so many people. Let's do something, and nobody will pick up the phone. And George just grabbed it and ran with it, and before we knew it, we had a record done. I mean, if it wasn't for George, we probably wouldn't have did this record.
Right. That's awesome, and that's cool how it comes together organically like that. It's not something formulated by a label or anything. Putting it together. Are we going into another break here? Looks like we're going into another break.
Time
A
to
little
pay
more
the piper.
Sound barrier to lead us out. We'll be back with Dug Pinnick, Spacey T, and Tommy Baldwin on the TradioV Inside Metal Show.
Hey, hello, this is David Faustino, and you are watching TradioV. Do you see what I'm saying? It's television crossed with radio. It's all together. It's weird. Radio's in the middle of it. It's amazing. You're watching it. Go.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Hey, I'm Dean Cain, and you are watching TradioV. I'm watching it too. Right now. Seriously.
Andy D on TradioV. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on TradioV. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on TradioV.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on TradioV.
Wow!
But we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
I'm Zoe Williams.
And I'm Dr. Mark Goulston.
I'm Jeff Brown.
And we make up the Zoe What Morning Show. You can find us here on TradioV.com every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I make you think.
He makes you laugh, and if I get a chance, I'll help you change.
Or make you cry with his attempts at humor.
Radio in TV.
Can you relate? We'll make it happen.
Look at you. What you doing?
Were you mumbling to yourself?
Hey, back there mumbling.
To them.
Hi, I'm Sheriff John Bennell. You're watching T-Radio. Radio and TV? What?
Perfect.
That was perfect. Why are you asking me to do this after 12 drinks?
All right. T-Radio V Inside Metal Show. Some classic King's X from the Gretchen album. We're going old school. 1989. Huh?
God, yeah.
Over My Head, of course.
100 years old.
That was a big video on MTV. I remember that.
They played the shit out of that video.
Yeah,
They did.
that was great. And then, of course, Black Flag a little bit later. So you had a lot of a great success in the early 90s, I remember.
Yeah,
and
we
did
had
a
a
lot
good
of
run.
major tours. And
Yeah, we did AC/DC and Scorpions and, Ronnie James Dio.
That's right.
Dream Theater, Satriani, just a whole bunch of people we opened for.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. And it's still going strong. That's
Yeah,
a
we're
great
still
thing,
going,
man.
you know.
After, 25 years and going on, man.
Still hitting it.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about, I think we got a video queued up for Spacey T. This was from a jam you did a couple weeks ago at the Lucky Strike on your own doing, who were you playing with on this? Do you have this queued up there?
Let me see which one you have there.
We'll see what we got.
Purple Rain?
There we go.
Okay, that's with Joe Retta.
Okay.
From the
there we are.
The Sweet. He's with Sweet.
Okay, right. And he does
that's
tribute.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
singer. Yeah.
And I kind of forget the other fellas because I just met them that night and stuff. But the second time there, I did a tribute to B.B. King. I love B.B. King, you know.
Awesome. Got the 12 string.
It went, 8 string.
8 string. All right.
Yeah,
I can't count. So I don't.
It's just fun to reimagine these songs on the 8-string guitar. You know? Getting the chance to play Voodoo Child and Purple Haze with Doug. The first week I played at the Lucky Strike. I've been there like 3 times now.
All right. And tomorrow, for those of you in town tomorrow, all 3 of you are going to do a jam.
Yeah, we're all
man.
going to be playing.
That's good. Do you know around what time?
9:30 is when it starts. Music
So
starts.
get there at 9 o'clock, gentlemen. Lucky Strike on like Highland and right on Highland and Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Can't miss it. You could take the subway right there.
Yep.
You don't have to drink and drive, man.
Park in the mall or Uber it.
Yeah, there you go. Smart. So I'll be there.
That's awesome.
I'll be hanging out, definitely.
Yes.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about some of the jams you've been doing there, Spacey. I know you've been doing a lot of different stuff.
That's a good thing to say because tomorrow, for example, my partner Lisa Marie Maestas, who's in our power duo Praise the Dead,
great project,
is going to be singing with us, and we're doing a tribute to Janis Joplin. We're doing Move Over.
Wow.
And that's a song that Praise the Dead covers also, when the 2 of us.
Right on.
And I think Doug's going to be playing bass on it, and it's going to be pretty awesome.
Very cool. And you put a CD out, right, too?
Yes,
as well?
yes. Yeah. Praise the Dead, the Heavy.
And why don't you give out how people could could order that?
Well, we're on. You could look on Facebook. We have we're on Reverb Nation, Twitter, all the usual suspects. And there's actually we're getting ready to start working on our second EP.
Very cool.
And that one's called The Deep.
All right.
And that's more of like a classic rock sounding
Very
EP,
cool.
you know.
And Tommy, we can't forget about my man Tommy over
Yes,
here.
Tommy.
I love seeing young guys, 19 years old, into classic hard rock and classic rock and metal music from the real deal. And you, of course, a big Hendrix fan. Was it your parents, or how'd you get into? Most kids your age, they're into all that pop garbage they see on MTV and whatnot, but.
Man, what happened to me really, I was 10 years old, and my dad got me a guitar in November, and he saw, I loved music because he was a musician, and my mom was too. And so, they played around in Indianapolis and local gigs and all that stuff. But in November, he got me a guitar, and said, I want you to do awesome things with this. I was like, okay, so me being 10 years old, clanking an El Kabong with it, so. And a month later, he died of a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And, so I had, just my mom and I, and I, looked at the guitar in the corner, man, and picked it up and never let it go. So my favorite, that's why I love Hendrix, is, the blues, Albert King, B.B. King, Freddie King, Three Kings, and, I love, soul and gospel. That's what I'm really into.
Awesome, man.
But, I love rock, too, just some, that low, Doug's low bass, just,
Yeah, well, you got the best mentor right here, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And that's so great for you to discover new talent like that, because there's so many great young musicians. But like I said, everything now is pushed, especially the recording. the musicianship is lost, man. You don't, everything is now, even with vocalists, with auto-tuner and drum machines and everything you could do in your home studio, and it's great.
Yeah, because the boy can sing too.
Yeah,
I mean, he can
awesome.
sing.
Thanks,
When he sang, he played. I'm going, wow. Then when he opened his mouth, I'm going, this boy can sing his butt off. And so the two together, it's like, come on.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. It's going to be a blast.
So he'll be doing the second verse of Voodoo Child. So
very cool.
We're doing Voodoo Child. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, well, cool. Well, what else you got going on, Doug? I know a lot of your fans want to know. You got the King's X. Let's talk about all the projects you got going on.
Grinder Blues. We're talking about doing a new record. That was the blues band with the Billman Brothers.
Wow.
Blues and Drop C.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty fun. What else? Oh, that's about it. PGP, Grinder Blues, solo stuff, King's X, KXM. That's about it. Got some other things I don't want to mention yet.
Right.
Because I got to wait, but I'm excited. I'll let you know.
I spoke with someone you know very well, Rich Davenport, today.
Oh,
Did a
yes.
little interview with Rich, great
Rich
guy out of
awesome.
England. What's up, Rich?
Hey, Rich.
Rich. Something he was mentioning, he said that he was talking to the guys in PA. I don't know if you remember that band out there, that old North Carolina band. Jesse, that's right. That was a good tune. I think A&M Records. I think actually Cliff Bernstein was managing
I love that
them.
band.
Well, yeah, he mentioned them to him, and he said he was going to introduce you guys. And
we've been emailing each other.
So there might be another future project.
There might be another future project, for sure.
That's what I love about this guy.
awesome.
He just meets with people. It's like I was saying before the break, it's not a formulated thing. It's just like, hey, you're fans of each other. Let's get together and jam. And that's
what the cool thing about it is that you find people that it's like painting a picture. It's a new color to put in your color to make it a little different, and that's the fun of it.
Absolutely.
You never know what you're gonna get. I mean, it could sound good on paper and be horrible when we get done with it, but the good thing about it is all of these people are good songwriters, and they've been around a while, so there's a trust there that we're going to come up with something at least. It's not going to suck. It might not be the greatest thing in the world, but it's, what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I said.
Hopefully.
Like, all your stuff you put out is so unique. I mean, going back from Pound Hound and all the solo projects,
love that stuff.
From way back when,
thanks.
it's that's what I love. Is that you're so creative and you could still, because so many people, these days, especially when they get older and they've kind of get a little bit jaded, they don't write new songs, and their new stuff, there's really no creative ideas flowing, and they're just going back doing, kind of revamping their same albums that they've always done. But you're constantly moving forward, and all you guys, of course. Playing with so many diverse bands. He's played with Fishbone, Spacey, of course, and you've played with. We talked about Mother's Finest and Sound Baron. You've played with Eddie Hazel,
HR from the Bad Brains.
Wow, you've done so many.
Franklin from P-Funk.
Wow.
It goes on and on,
I didn't even know about this. That's awesome. Now, tell about, you had a unique story about the first time you met Doug.
Wow, I met Doug the first time they came to L.A., I think, on the first record, wasn't it? When you played
the Country Club,
Country Club in Reseda, and it was John Sutherland's birthday party.
John Sutherland, what's up, John?
Is
I'm
he
sure
watching?
John's going to be watching this. What's going on, John? Just talked to him the other day.
Oh, excellent!
Awesome. Tell him hi.
Absolutely.
And it was what it was. It was almost like King's X was playing for John's birthday party.
Wow.
And after the show, I met Doug. Because for about a month before that, John was explaining to me how I had to meet Doug. You got to meet this guy, man. You and him would get along so well, and I met him that night after the show, and pretty much been friends ever
John
since
was
then.
always a huge fan and always pushing you guys, and I know he's like the biggest Thin Lizzy fan you can
Oh
meet.
yeah, we love
He
Phil.
kept saying these guys are going to be the next Thin
yeah.
Lizzy.
That's what everybody thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess we're going into our final break
Pay
of
that piper.
Yes, got to pay the piper. That's right. So we're going to be back with Dug Pinnick, Spacey T, and Tommy Baldwin here on TradioV Inside Metal.
Hi, I'm Ty Simpkins.
Miss Danielle Basutti.
Hi, this is Brooke Peoples.
I'm Jocelyn Donahue.
Hi, I'm Keegan Allen, and you're watching
TradioV. TradioV.
TradioV, radio in TV. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
TradioV. Yo!
TradioV. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Hey geeks, wake up! We got big news. I'm not gonna mumble this time. Geekscape, the long-running movie video game. Let me do one more. Hey geeks, we got big news! Geekscape, your favorite show about movies, video games, comics, and TV, is coming to TradioV Monday, October 6th. And it'll be on every Monday from then on, 7 p.m. Until the apocalypse happens, we're all eaten by zombies.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the
All right, here we are back at TradioV Inside Metal Show with my great guest Dug Pinnick, Spacey T, and Tommy Baldwin. Got a great new project, a Hendrix shirt. What's the actual name of the project, or do you have a name?
There's no name.
No name? I love that.
I think, well, I want to call it, well, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, people will see it. But I was thinking about calling it Often Imitated But Never Duplicated.
Oh, nice.
And
I
just
love
to
it.
say, we're not trying to, to
Right.
get the haters out of the way. It's like,
But that, yeah, I can't wait to hear it. It's going to be all Hendrix tunes.
Yeah.
And you'll be following up with some live shows, I'm sure, doing some.
You never know, but if the opportunity arises, I know we'll step up to the plate.
And again, tomorrow night you could get a little preview. They'll be doing Voodoo Child and probably a couple other stuff. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know who might come up and jam with you.
You never know.
I might even jump on
That's
that stage.
awesome. Well, check it out. I think Doug and I are doing actually Manic Depression.
Oh, love that tune.
Which would be awesome,
See, he doesn't even know. You better start rehearsing that.
Well, that's the
because
cool thing
tomorrow-
about it. There's a set list, and like people show up and just do it. A lot of times you don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, that's
it's
a
a
great
big
thing.
surprise.
Yeah.
Nuno showed up last time.
Mhm. Oh, wow.
Billy Sheehan.
He'll probably show up because I know tomorrow I'm going to this little Cat House preview that we're going to tape for TradioV with Ricky Rockman. I know Nuno's going to be
nice.
there tomorrow, so
Cool.
I'm sure, and all the guys doing that big Cat House show that's
Yeah.
going on. So I'm sure a lot of them will come up to the
Yeah.
show. So you never know who's going to get up and jam. But
Awesome.
I know Nuno's going to be in town for sure.
Yeah, saw him last night actually.
Yeah,
And,
he's off the Rihanna tour, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. So you got another project talking about the Texas one.
just got off the road with my side project. We're called Dug in the Texas Foundation.
Right.
And I got Wally and Dane from the Galactic Cowboys to play guitar, and a guy named Keith Slack on drums, and we did about 4 weeks. And I brought Tommy with me to sell merch.
Yeah.
And I got him up to play Voodoo Child every night for encore.
That's awesome.
And yeah, he stole the show. It was a
Nah,
lot of
man.
fun. We had a great time. But I plan on making a Dug in the Texas Foundation record, and with Dane and Wally and Tommy as 3 guitar players. I always wanted to try a 3 guitar player thing,
Wow.
so we'll do that. And then if it arises, we'll go on another tour again. But
all right.
I just put
Busy,
one foot in
busy,
front
busy.
put one foot in front of the other and see what happens.
And you said you got another KXM record coming out too?
Yeah, getting ready to work on that, and a Grander Blues record.
Wow.
Going to work on that too. Yesterday I got emails from everybody.
Right.
So everybody's talking about doing a new record and how we want to do it. So now we got to schedule it all.
Awesome, man. That's very cool.
And a new solo record sooner or later, because
All
Joe
right.
wants me to put one out, which is great that a record company wants you to put a record out.
Yeah. Very cool. And Spacey, what else you got going on, man?
Like I was saying earlier, we have a second Praise the Dead EP that we're going to put out called The Deep. And then I'm working on some solo stuff. And that's funny. It's another thing that Doug and I have in common. We're like gent fans. Gent is like a newer style of music based on the technique of the guitar palm muting the tone to make this really intense, heavy, mid-range crunch sound.
Bands like Periphery.
Periphery, Animals as leaders,
I know
that kind
you
of
turned
stuff.
me on to them, Animals as leaders,
Yeah.
and all. That's some crazy shit. I mean, I
Meshuggah's
thought like
Little
Meshuggah
Brothers
was,
was-
was the thing, but hearing
Based
that
on
is just like-
Meshuggah.
Yeah. Where is it? Is jazz Meshuggah?
Yeah.
But without the death metal vocals.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's,
they have death metal vocals still. A lot
do
of
the
bands
Animals?
do,
Okay,
yeah.
'cause most
no,
of the-
not Animals.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
instrumental.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing, some instrumental music in that vein.
Right.
A little more funky, though, a little more emphasis on the funk.
Got the string guitar.
Nice.
And maybe I get Doug to maybe sing on one of the tracks or something, Lisa, you know.
Maybe.
You gotta break out the
be some
cash.
instrumental stuff mostly, you know. So just try to get that stuff out there soon, you know.
Very
And I'm
cool.
also working on an Eddie Hazel tribute record too, that I've been working on for a little while, and that'll be soon to come too, you know.
Very, very cool. And of course, Spacey T is featured extensively along with his old vocalist Bernie K from Soundbarrier. We talk a lot. There's a big story about Soundbarrier, a classic band as we were talking about on the LA scene. This, of course, Pioneers of LA Hard Rock and Metal Volume 2 is out on Amazon, and we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We'll
I want
get
one. I
you-
want to rewatch it.
We'll get you
Jeez.
one. We got to get
my God.
got to get Doug a copy of that.
Gotta get it.
But classic historic story about you've been around the LA scene for so long and so influential to so many bands.
How old were you when you moved out here?
Wow, when I moved out here, I was 20. So I had my 21st birthday out
So
here.
you just got in your car and just left?
Well, I had to fly. My mom didn't want me to drive out with the fella, so I had
Where'd
to
you come
fly.
from
Did
New
know-
Jersey.
Did you know anybody here, or how did you?
Yeah, I have relatives out here.
So-
Actually, I'm the Jazz
so you came to live
Crusaders.
with them?
Yes, until I got on my feet, and then
I always wondered.
just
Never did ask him.
Yeah, I think I first saw you in '82. Sound Barrier. At the I saw them open up for Motley Crue and Rat at the Radio City in Anaheim.
Oh, nice.
I saw you open for Steeler. It was either at the Troubadour or the Whiskey. I saw about 3 or 4 shows. I missed a show you did with Metallica at the Troubadour.
Oh
but
yeah,
I
at the
saw-
Whiskey actually.
Oh, that was Whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, but
I
that
get
was
I get all that confused, but this man's been around. And Tommy the newcomer.
What's that?
So I know you got this project, so you must be stoked. This is like your first project coming out the door. 19.
Yeah.
Get to play
Crazy.
and record with the legendary Dug Pinnick
legend.
and Spacey T.
Both
That's
of them,
my
yeah.
big brother.
It's an honor. It really is.
Right
It's
on,
awesome
man.
to be here.
Very cool. We're going to close the show. We got just about a minute left for people to get in touch with you guys. I know you guys all got your Facebook pages and whatever else
Yeah.
to promote.
Doug Pinnick.
Doug
Just
Pinnick,
look
it
up DUGPINNICK, and my worst and best moments.
All right.
You
There
can
you
look
go.
me up on Facebook, Twitter, like Praise the Dead 555. Reverb Nation. We have all that stuff up there. You can check it out.
Absolutely. Support these guys. And I'm sure you got something up there
Yeah,
too.
on Facebook, just Tommy Baldwin, and also Instagram, Tommy Baldwin.
There you go. See, the young generation, they got the Instagram.
I got Instagram and
See,
Facebook too.
All I deal with is Facebook. I don't even do the Twitter thing.
Twitter.
People
Yeah, I
can
don't
hit
do
me up
Twitter.
on Twitter. I have an account, but I just one's enough for me.
Get with the
man.
program.
I know. I'm old school. All right, T Radio V, Inside Metal. Support these guys, man.
thank
Come
you.
out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Anyone
having
in LA, come out to the Lucky Strike tomorrow night for the Killer Jam. And look at we're ending at a little Sound Barrier. The first single and the first video on MTV that introduced the all-black heavy metal bands to the world right there in this video.
We'll say there's more to come.
That's right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you could even expect a Sound Barrier documentary. You never know. Could happen.
I want them to do a record.
Yeah, I do too. I've been talking to him. We're going to talk about that. T Radio V, Inside Metal Show. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Back.
You're watching TradioV, Radio and TV.